Hello, in this recording we're going to talk about all the options that you can have when you're creating blog posts. So let's begin by creating a new blog post. So let's do this. Okay, so now we've got a new blog post, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about all of the different options for our settings up here. So in this first one, like if I would have created or created this with a spelling mistake in it, I could highlight this in here and modify the name. Okay. This section option here is for changing your paragraph style. So that what that means is that you can have a return, you can have a block quote, monospace, an H1 or header 1, header 2 or header 3. And what this does is, let's put in some text. Okay. All right. So if we were going to do it, in order to change this to say an H1, we could highlight this here and then go to our paragraph settings and then say H1, and it changes the whole line. Okay. We can make a return there, and then okay, we can put in some more text, and then we can highlight it and say now we want that monospaced, or we can make that block quote. These are all terms that are used in HTML formatting. If you want to remove all formatting, what you do is just highlight the text and then go back to paragraph, and that's basically no formatting for that one. The next option we have here is the changes the style of lists, so you can have bullets. You can have an ordered list, which is 1, 2, 3. You can outdent, which is move it sideways or move it to the left to make it go further that way, or you can indent it, which is move it to the right, and choose that. So let's put in and so forth. So now we can change the style of that list by highlighting that, and now we can say now it's an ordered list. Now it's an ordered list, and we can make it go, take that one and make it go out, or we can take that one and put it in there, or modify this a little bit. So we're going to take this and move this one back down, take all the formatting off of that. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to sort of change the style. So you can have plain, which is like this, or we can have a bold or italic, underline, important, emphasis, and highlight. Alright, so those are how you can choose the styles. The next one here we have is you can create or edit a link. So we can select this, highlight that, and we can say, okay, we want to link to a new page. So if you had a wiki or several blogs, you could link to that. You can do a search. So if you know that your friend has a post that you want to link to, that's what that search function is for. You can search within the blog site. You can enter a URL. So like this one, we'll do http://youtube.com and insert that link. And so now you'll see that this is clickable. The coloring for this theme's not so great, so we'll just undo that. Or you can create a new post and link to that new post from there. Now the next one is interesting. Now what this does is it allows you to insert media into your post. When you insert media, what's going to happen is that media is now going to be accessible via your podcast if you've turned that option on. So, but there's some caveats with that, and let's explain that. So when you click on the Add Media, okay, it's going to ask you to browse for this file. So this file has to exist somewhere on your system. So we're going to click on Browse, and you'll see that now we have some movies. I have a PDF, an MP3 file, and then there's my avatar that I uploaded earlier. So let's insert a movie here. So we're going to open that, and then we can give it some text, a movie. And then we can choose how it gets wrapped around the text. So we can say, okay, we want it to be to the right side, so we can insert that. So now it's going to upload your movie. This may take a while depending on how big that is. If we want to modify the way that it wraps the text, we can click on that again, say no, we want it on the left side. We can apply that. It goes down there. That's inserting a movie. There are certain file types that you can do this with, and this is actually embedding them in your own blog. So we're going to click on this tab here, and I'll talk about those. So over here it shows the accepted file types for embedding, so that you can have JPEGs, you can have PNG files, you can have GIF files, and you can have QuickTime Movie. This includes MOV, M4V, and MV4. You can also have MP3 audio. All those you can embed. And the other thing is that if you upload any of these other file types, bitmaps, TIFFs, Photoshop documents, docs, so if you try to embed a doc, it's going to convert it to a PNG file, RTF, or at the first page of the of PDFs only, so that if you uploaded a multi-page PDF here, it's going to convert that to a PNG, so you won't see the subsequent pages. So there's ways to get around that too. Okay, so now this is embedding that into this particular page. Let's say we have a Word doc or PDF file that we want to embed that's multi-page, that we don't want to lose the other pages. Well, that's where our next tool comes in. There's actually an attach file button. So you'll notice that it just says, what's your file type? It doesn't give you any caveats about, the type of file that it accepts, because it basically allows you to load anything in there. So now we're going to browse that, and we're going to click this PDF file. We're going to open that, and then we're going to hit attach. And you'll notice here that what you see is basically a link to download that file. It looks as if it's embedded, but it's just a link to that file, so that when people click on it, it gets downloaded onto their own computer. The other thing we can do is we can add some tables. So with this, here's a table row. You can add columns, you can add rows, you can remove columns, you can add a table header, remove a table header, you can use a column header. So you can modify this however you want, and then once you click OK, it inserts it into your document, and then you can see how it's in here. If you want to modify it, you click on it, and you can say row 1. So and so forth. So you see how you can put in tables in there. Now the last thing, if you really want to, you can get to the HTML formatting of the page. So if you're comfortable with this, you can get in and you can start modifying some of the code. Now I'll warn you a little bit, is that the blogs don't accept all the HTML code that's out there. So if you have really tricky code that you want to stick in there, it may get stripped out when you actually save your post. But you can modify the code directly if you so choose. So there is how you use these tools. Now, you'll notice that when I clicked on this link, I went to a thing that said Wiki Help, and it explained all of these really interesting things here about what types of files that it has. That's something that you can get to at any point from within your blog. The way that you get to that, if you want, is you click this Help button, and it'll open up a screen, okay? And then it has a bunch of different options that you can get at here. So if you're ever interested in how something works, you can click on the Help button. You can either do a search for it, or you can try and navigate to it. So let's go back to that page that I was just at. So I know that one was at Wikitools Overview, and then About the Blogs, and then the Editing Tools toolbar. And then you can talk about the media links and things. So you insert the media, and there we got back to that page. So if you ever want to see how to do something, you can click on the Help tab. Lastly, after you've done all your formatting and editing, you can hit Save, and now you'll see that this movie has now been inserted into the blog post. This file, you can sort of view it here. It gives you a preview. You notice that I've played this movie, so it's sort of loading on top of that. Normally you wouldn't have so many files within the same post, but this will give you a preview of what it looks like, and if you wanted to download it, you can do that. So basically, that's how you can add media and formatting to your blog posts.